I was just curious because the backers are running around saying they paid Vaughn 130 grand, and I just find that difficult to believe.
Well, okay, here's the problem. Why isn't that money in my bank account?
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
See, I mean, if they paid me, why didn't I take that 130 grand and get me and the dogs the hell out of the AO?
Well, what did they pay? I mean, I don't understand why you're not there. I
Why
mean,
does it matter what they
They
paid him? It's
talked.
none of your business.
They use subterfuge. They use subterfuge.
well, that's illegal. You can't do that.
Well,
They're probably
see,
doing it
here's
in
the thing:
installments.
when you got the county attorney in your pocket, and you got a big high-powered congressman, Kentucky state congressman in your pocket, and you got everybody believing that I'm just the worst piece of filth that ever walked the earth, you can pretty much do to me whatever you want to do to me.
I
That's
mean,
the
you
problem.
you can take this to authorities that are outside of Kentucky. If it, I mean, this is a major theft. This isn't like
Nobody's gonna do jack fucking shit, and you know it, and so do I.
I don't know it. That's why I'm so stunned.
Well, listen, all right, listen. The shit's gone. It's not in my name. It's in their name. I stupidly trusted these people like a dumbass and lost my shit.
Well, what was
And
the
so now
agreement?
I'm
I don't know. I'm so confused.
well. It's
Like,
oh, we're gonna help you. Oh, we're not interested in your rental property. We're not interested in the garage. We're not interested in any of that stuff. We just want this strip of land between you and the frost called Lick Branch. We just want that property, and everything else will be fine. Well, then, and I agreed to that, and they did pay me for Lake Branch. They paid me 10,000 for Lake Branch, just a little sliver of land between me and the frost. And it's like, okay, they paid me for that. Everything's cool. Next thing I know, she's down at the county attorney's office, making herself power of attorney and putting all my shit in her name. And it's like, well, okay. So my thinking, right, is that oh, they're going to pay me for the property. Well, they put it in their name, but they paid me for it because believe me, if I had 200 grand in the bank, me and the dogs would have been gone. We'd have been out of there. Either went back to Ohio or somewhere. We would have
I
got
just don't
something.
understand how this is legal. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. I mean, you got robbed.
No shit, Sherlock. I got robbed. But that's the cost of trusting people. That's the cost of trusting people. And I swear to God, I will never trust anyone ever again. Sorry, I'll never trust anyone ever again after this situation. You learn from your mistakes. I made a big one, and I'm learning from it. After this experience, I can never trust another human being ever again. I can't. Sorry.
I'm not
I'm
trying
not.
to beat you
I'm
up
not
over
trying.
it, Vaughn.
I'm not. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be a dick about it. But after this has really soured me. This has soured me against all human beings. It even made me almost think of contacting the gods and goddesses and saying, "Yeah, that destroyer that's coming. Yeah, fuck it, just blast everything." I mean, I'm serious. I'm serious as a fucking heart attack.
I'm not trying to beat you up over it. it's so insane that they did that.
Well, I'm
How can
sorry.
they do that and get away with it? I don't understand. This is a major crime. This is like 10
And
years in prison.
who you going to go to?
I
Who
mean,
you going to go to?
you go above the county attorney. You go to the next level.
Okay, I've contacted the governor. I've contacted the attorney general. Now what? They didn't do shit. Now what?
Hey, Vaughn, I'm just curious as to what sort of accommodation you made for Sharpie when you got out of there.
There was nothing I could do. I had to leave him.
So you didn't ask anyone to look after him?
No, who would I ask?
I mean, anyone there in town, or
Listen. Everybody down there was told to kill my dogs.
well, why didn't you just drop it off at the? Why didn't you just drop it off at the pound on your way out?
Listen. I heard with my own ears everybody saying to kill my dogs. I heard that with my own ears. Okay.
So you left it to fend for itself?
I had no choice.
Well, but Vaughn, you could have dropped it off at the pound on the way out of town. You could have dropped it off in some other city as you were driving to New Jersey.
Well, I didn't feel right about that either because then I'm abandoning it And I
I'm
didn't
pretty
feel
sure
right
the
about it.
financial backers would have checked on the trailer by now. Once Fawn, they know which
Oh
day
yeah.
Fawn was leaving, so they would have went in there after.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely. You can bet. You can bet they went in there as soon as
but you did abandon it.
I was gone. I left out of there at 3 a.m.
Well, I
Right.
just wonder if, based on this experience, maybe Sharpie will never trust another person ever again.
Sharpie is
He's
dead.
gone.
Sharpie is dead, you dumb motherfucker. Just like Blackie is dead, just like Bubby is dead, just like Sissy is dead, just like Midnight is dead. And are you seeing a fucking pattern here, dumbass? They've been killing all
He's
my
gone.
dogs.
He's gone. I mean, you have to fight this.
Nobody is going to do jack fucking shit. Because if they were going to do something, they could have done it 20 fucking years ago when the trolls were calling CPS over
Yeah,
and
but the
over and over
trolls
again.
didn't buy your land and lie to you and have you sign their name. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't do that. This lady did that.
Yeah, but okay. Apparently, you're not up on the information. They knew who Charity was by name, 3 years in advance.
Who is
I've
they?
got the trolls. They
I know,
knew who
but that's just
Charity was.
I'm like the king of your trolls, Vaughn, and I'd never heard of her.
Well, I'm sorry, but they knew who she was. I've got the
This is
email.
not true. It's really not. And I'm trying to help you by telling you this. I swear to you, it's honestly not true.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've got the emails. I've got their text messages where they knew Charity by name years before I even knew who the hell she
The
was.
first time we ever heard her name is when she bought the liens from Todd. That is the God's honest truth. I swear to you.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've got emails that say different. I've got text messages that say different. They knew exactly who this woman was.
You understand the trolls mess with you, right? Like, that's the whole point. That's why I'm trying to help you, because I think you have a case.
Well, I don't have a case. Okay, not in Kentucky. Now, maybe if I went to the Supreme Court of the United States, then I might have a case.
But you can at least make a stink and make it difficult for them. I mean, you could do. There's something you
What
could do.
am I going to do? I ain't got no money. I ain't
Make
got
it
no
public.
money. You ain't got no money to get no lawyer, man. You got to, you want to fight this. You're going to get it. You're going to have to pay about 10 grand to a lawyer to fight this. Okay, I don't have no 10 grand to fight, and they know that.
I also wanted to clarify something else. Something about one of your puppies getting paw prints on a Corvette, and then you had a gun put to your head. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, shit happens.
That's illegal, Vaughn. Why didn't you call the police? Just get it on record. Just get a record of it.
Stop. Are you fucking high?
Well, I'm not saying that they're going to come kick his door down and arrest him. I'm just saying at least then there would be a record and you could take it somewhere else.
Because they've got it to where that everything on paper looks fine. And when they see the paperwork and see that everything looks fine on paper, ain't nobody going to do shit. You understand? Nobody's going to do shit.
This is just, I mean, all joking aside, like I said, I've ever heard.
Like I said, I fucked up and I trusted people that I should have never trusted. Okay? It happens. It's real life. Okay? This is real life. Don't trust anyone. See, that's where I fucked up. I trusted these people. I should have never done so. I should have never trusted anyone. But I did. And now I'm paying for it. Okay? So, lesson learned. Don't trust anyone for any reason.
Do you at least have a little bit of money backed up?
I have a little bit of money. Yeah, I have a little bit of money, but the thing about it is Jersey is expensive as fuck.
Right.
And so that money isn't going to last very long, which is why I'm out here trying to get a job or trying to get some kind of an assistance.
Did you make any headway with your disability?
Well, not here in Jersey because I haven't done it yet. But we're going to go to the government building here in Jersey. I'm going to see if I can get disability or SSI or at least some kind of an assistance until I can get on my feet. And here's the thing, like I said, you learn from your mistakes. Okay, I made a mistake, a big one, and now I'm paying for it. And that's how you learn. That's how you learn. That's how you grow.
God, okay? $100,000 mistake is rough.
Yeah, $200,000.
Golly.
Yeah, $200,000 mistake is kind of rough, but
If you got diagnosed with some kind of mental disability, you could use that to get back at them. It's because they took advantage of you.
I'm not crazy. Are you?
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. But people there's all kinds of mental disabilities you can have that don't make you crazy.
I ain't worried about it.
Were you at least able to salvage the Elder Scroll and the Staff of Baal and the
No,
cave?
all that shit was burned on the burn pile.
No, who did that?
I'm not sure if the Allens did it or if the Coomers did it, but it doesn't matter. That's what happened to it all.
That is outrageous. Those were irreplaceable.
No, actually, the gods told me that I am the Elder Scroll.
Let me ask you about the Black Panther totem. Did that survive?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
But I didn't bring it with me.
Well, is there anything we can do to get that preserved? Because listen, can I give you my theory on why that totem spoke to you? I think you miss Kenny KPZ because he was a Black Panther, and you bought the Black Panther to represent the dichotomy between you and him, the yin and the yang. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Anything.
Well, it protected you from him because he hasn't been around in a long, long time.
Yeah, that's true. Everything will be just fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Worrying about stuff doesn't solve anything.
Well,
right?
yeah, you shouldn't cry over spilt milk. I agree, but I just feel like there's got to be some kind of action. I mean, that's not picking your pocket for $1,000. That's one thing. This is something with a paper trail. This is something. I just find it, like I said, they're reporting that they paid you $130,000, and they said you went through it in 9 months. That's what they say. They said you bought lottery tickets and you spent it on online dating. That's what they say. And they say they have a record of it and they're going to show it.
I spent my money on what now?
Lottery tickets.
Here in Jersey?
No. They said the $130,000 they gave you was spent largely on lottery tickets, and you were using it on dating sites.
I spent $130,000 on lottery ticket. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard.
I didn't say it was true. I just said that's what they're reporting. I didn't say I believed it. I told you I found that difficult to believe.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I did buy a new computer, but that's because charity kept telling me, you got to get rid of your money. We can't get you your disability until you get rid of your money.
Were they trying to help you get on disability? Or did they say they were at least?
They said they were, yeah. They said they were. I don't know how true it is, but that's what they said. They told me they said you can't have no more than $500 in the bank when you're going to get your disability.
Yeah, but you don't have to spend it.
And then they changed it to say that you can't have any money in the bank because they'll count it against you. And so I'm like, well, shit, what do I do with all this money? Because I had like $3,000. It's like, well, what do I do with the $3,000? And I said, well, hell, I do need a new computer. So I just went on ahead and bought a new computer with it, thinking that I'm going to get my disability. Well, that ended up being a fucking lie, didn't it? This guy says $130,000 on lottery is perfectly plausible. No, it's fucking not. That's insane.
On the one hand, they were trying to help you get disability, and then like 3 days later, you got to leave. What happened in those 3 days?
You got to get out of here. What happened? I don't know what happened.
I don't know what goes
on behind the Huh?
They just had some kind of weird change of heart because she was standing there helping you.
I don't know.
Or at least it looked like she was helping you try to get your disability.
You got to remember, James Arnold Frost is literally down the road. He's literally next door. Okay? It's easy for him to use that MK Ultra mind control on him and mess the day all up. She come to me just before I left out of there. She come to me saying that the window air conditioner's on fire. And I'm like, what? She said, the window air conditioner's on fire. I go outside, window air conditioner ain't on fire. Besides, if the window air conditioner had been on fire, the smoke would have come in the house and I would have detected it, right? So I don't know what the hell that was all about.
It's crazy.
So who put that in her head? Come on now, think.
You know,
Just put
I
that
think
in your head.
I'll be honest with you, and I say this with all sincerity. If you can tell somebody in authority that your land was stolen because your distant relative is using MK Ultra mind control, I think you may have a case to get that land back. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying they'll throw me in the fucking funny part. Because most people
No,
don't
they
know.
won't. They don't even do that anymore.
Most people do not know what MK Ultra is. Most people. Most people have no clue. They have no clue what it is.
Well,
None.
see, this right here is important because this proves, because I know a lot of people say you have like paranoid schizophrenia. This proves you don't, because paranoid schizophrenics don't alter their story, right?
Well,
Like they don't.
paranoid schizophrenic. They have mood swings and all that other bullshit. So
And you're the crazy one for not believing their stuff. You know what I mean? Like Vaughn is clearly lucid enough
they
to
can
say
get
this.
violent
Well,
and
I don't
honest enough.
care what
Right.
I don't care what people believe. That's not my problem.
Sure. I know. I just wanted to illustrate it because, you
Right.
know, you were well aware that if you try to tell somebody that they'll look at you crazy.
Exactly.
And a paranoid schizophrenic wouldn't make that distinction.
No, probably not. No.